When you write in the academic environment, you have to be able to indicate to your readers that you have an academic voice. The concept of voice refers to strategies that you use to express your views in subtle and direct ways when making a specific argument. This means that you consciously orientate yourself in relation to what you're saying. This is the opposite of merely taking information from a source and placing it in your text. An academic voice helps to strengthen your argument. It makes your text much more convincing and credible. Let's look at an example where the voice of the writer is not convincing. As humans, we are bound to have limits. Those limits exist both physically and intellectually. There are also those out there who are naturally gifted with a larger capacity than others. Did you note the wide range of rather vague statements and generalizations? For example, what exactly is the meaning, "those out there"? This phrase is very general and might even be confusing. See if you can identify how this writer assumes a more convincing voice. Brooks and Ward, 2007, used discourse analysis to study college students' responses to a course on race, gender, and media, and found students' responses to films and class discussion remained largely connected with a colorblind ideology. It is easy to be convinced as the writer is concise and specific. Note that he or she also includes a source to strengthen the argument. Other aspects of academic voice that are important to consider are personal stance and engagement. Personal stance refers to the way in which you take charge when you write. You have to show your reader that you know what you're talking about. Show confidence, show knowledge. In academic terms, you need to deliberately intervene with the discourse or the discussion to stamp your personal beliefs onto your arguments. You need to offer support or disagreement to statements of other writers and express surprise or stress importance. Boosting, tentative writing, and the use of self-mention are useful strategies. Let's look at some practical examples. Boosting refers to the use of phrases that attempt to strongly support a certain statement. Examples of boosting include, "Of course," "We definitely have to accept that," and "It is a clear indication of." As you can see, this strategy indicates to the reader that you strongly agree with the claim or want to emphasize an important point. Just remember to avoid emotive or overly subjective language. Tentative writing is also known as hedging. This strategy is a more subtle or cautious way of orientating yourself towards a statement. Although tentative writing can be used both to agree and disagree with a statement, they are useful when you want to respectfully disagree. Although tentative writing can be used both to agree and disagree with a statement, they are useful when you want to respectfully disagree. This could be an indication of, is an example of hedging. Instead of stating that this is an indication, the words could be signals to the reader that you have an open mind and that you are aware that there might be other possibilities. The use of self-mention is a much debated topic. The use of personal pronouns, such as I or we, is recommended in certain circumstances, while some researchers steer clear of self-mention. Your entire text should reflect your personal stance, without necessarily using personal pronouns such as I or we. Phrases such as, in my opinion, aren't always necessary. But in some research areas, no self-mention is associated with a weak writer identity. As no general rules apply, it is wise to consult an academic mentor within your field on this matter. When you immerse yourself in applicable literature, you should also get an idea of the self-mention trend in your discipline. Consider academic articles in your field of study. It is useful to see and know how your discipline experts approach the matter. Refer to the handout for more examples of boosting, tentative writing, and self-mention. Up to now, we have considered voice and stance. The last aspect to consider is engagement. While academic writing should be as objective as possible, the concept of engagement refers to an intervention where writers actively pull readers along or position them in relation to the argument. In other words, engagement refers to strategies that writers use to implicitly convince the reader of the writer's argument. In order to make your position in a specific text known, you should engage with your own research, the arguments of others, and your readers. 3 of the many strategies you can use are directive phrases, appealing to shared knowledge, and making use of questions. Directive phrases give a direct instruction to the reader to see things in a way that you can determine. Look at or consider the following are 2 examples. There is often shared knowledge among people involved in a certain discipline. When you appeal to this knowledge, you actively engage your reader by presupposing that he or she holds a certain belief. As psychologists, we know, and our understanding of, are examples of phrases indicating shared knowledge. The use of the phrase, of course, is another example, as it implies that your reader, as part of a discourse community, will readily accept your accompanying claim. Then you can also make use of questions to engage your reader. By asking questions, you invite the reader to enter into a virtual dialogue with you, so that you can lead him or her to your viewpoint. How can this be explained? And what are the ways in which? These are examples of questions that might intrigue your reader and make him or her focus on the message of your text. Curious for more examples? You will find them in the handout. Becoming an expert writer does not happen overnight. When you write, try to be conscious of your own stance and voice and how you engage the reader. When you purposefully use some of the examples, you will develop a convincing voice in your writing.